Welcome to the Desire to Dream podcast. I'm your host, Lo Wilder. The vision of this podcast is to provide tools on how to become successful in your finances, business, leadership development, and much more. A little bit about me: I grew up in the hood, homeless at the age of 14. I made a choice not to become a product of my environment. And today, I am a successful businessman, community leader, and inspirational speaker. It is my desire to encourage and empower you to unlock your greatness. So tune in and enjoy the show. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Desire to Dream podcast. I'm your host, Lo Wilder, and today it's going to be a fire episode, man. So if you have a notepad, I definitely advise you to take it out, because right now I got the entrepreneur, one of the greatest business-minded individuals, and just crushing it all across the East Coast, man. I got my brother, Mychal Connolly. So Myke, how you doing, my brother?
Good. Hey, thanks for having me, brother. It's been a while, man. I appreciate everything you're doing. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, man. The honor is mine, man. And I think we were talking about it earlier, how we got introduced, man. It was like I was doing the radio episode with what was it, G Money and Tony Guest over at 93.7. And you called it in and you like, man, my name's Myke, man, Stinky Cakes. And I'm like, we connected ever since, man. And it's been a vibe, man. I've been seeing what you're doing, man. Very successful career, and getting the top 40 under 40, man, and all of that great stuff, and starting several businesses. I'm not going to take your shine, man. So if you don't mind, man, sharing a little bit about yourself, your background, and that'll be great, man. Let the listeners know who you are.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the radio thing, because that's really like almost like, lesson number one. And that's to celebrate other people authentically, man, without expecting anything. Like That's such a powerful thing for two reasons. One, you give off, you get to express joy, it's happiness. That's a positive vibe for you right there, right? For you personally. Then is a positive vibe for the person that you celebrate, whether you know them or not. Like I was saying when we first jumped on, like I love celebrating other people's success, man. I love watching that movie. And there's millions of those movies, you know what I mean? Not only the guy that hit $1 billion or $1 million or 100,000, even the person who you didn't think was going to go to college and they go to college. That's a success story.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I was thinking about this yesterday, man. People need more people that's at the finish line with them just to say, man, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching the whole time and I'm proud of you. And that takes nothing, you know what I mean? So like I think sometimes, man, the haters, they get too much shine, man. Like, nah, let's talk about the dope people. My personal motto, bro, create dope stuff and stay sucker free.
That's it. And that's amazing, bro, that you say that, because that's really what inspired me to start the podcast, right? Like, yeah, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm successful in my business. I'm successful in what I'm doing out in the community. But I was like, I need to create a platform to bring on these dope people that I met over the course of my life, to celebrate them and give them their flowers, man. So that's great you just mentioned that, because that's exactly why I started this podcast.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. So, you've been doing things on a high level, man. You started a business. How did you kind of get into, the entrepreneurial world? Like, started the Stinky Cakes and then eventually started other businesses. Like, how did that all start?
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to me being this 9-year-old kid in the Bahamas. This is where I'm originally from, the Bahamas. And my grandmother used to fly over to Florida to buy candy. She just loved candy. And I would take some to school, give it to my friends, like, yo, I got this. You ever tried those purple Jolly Ranchers? And like, purple Jolly Ranchers? What are you talking about, purple?
Right, where you get that at?
School store had green and red, and so that was like, yeah, I got some. And then I realized, like, yo, if I could get them to come to the house, like I could make some decent money with this. And I, figured out a strategy, got them over to the house. And the strategy was simple.
Right.
I just told them I sold out, but I got more at the house. And that was like on purpose, because I knew they had little brothers and little sisters that they would have brought with them. And I was making $1, $2 at school, but I was making $3, $4, $5 at the house. And like, that's kind of where it started. My family didn't know this was going on. And then and I tell all entrepreneurs, all business people, man, the way to win in this game is to put in the work. And I learned that at 9 too. So like, because I figured out, like, if I sell all my grandmother's candy, then she's going to think I ate all the candy, I'm going to get in trouble. So like, I priced out every piece of candy she had, like, and I didn't know nothing about nothing. I didn't know business. I just like instinct, right? But I mean, it was like common sense. Like if the package of lemon head says a quarter, I can't sell it for a quarter. I got to sell it for 50 cents.
Right.
So everything I did, I doubled up every candy, and I made a list. And so how this turned into a business for me and my grandmother, like, because I used to run outside. Like I know what people kind of knew what they wanted. So like I used to run outside and catch them before they came to the house.
Right.
So like this one day I played like I was sick. After I had the sign ready, so I watched the kid come down. He comes down the driveway, knocks on the door, and my grandmother comes in her room. And as she's going past my door, I hand her the note. And she probably just thought I drew a picture or something. She wasn't thinking nothing like that. So like she goes to the door. The kid's like, she's like, "Oh, Mike's not coming outside today." I used to call me Mikey. Mikey's not coming outside today. And the kid's like, "No, I'm here to buy candy." And she was like, "Buy candy?"
Right.
And I was like, "Grandma, look at the sign." And she opens it, and I promise you, every time I tell this part of the story, bro, my heart still starts racing, bro. I saw nervous. Wow. I was that nervous, bro. I could feel it every time. Right. So like I'm looking, bro. I'm looking, and she opens it up, and then she walks back and get the kid what he asked for. That was then we was good money. So me and my grandmother, we was in business.
You got a partner. You got a partnership now.
But I had to do that, bro, for two reasons. Like if all the candy's gone, she's literally gonna think I ate it. And right. If like I knew it worked, and if this was gonna continue, I needed her anyway.
Exactly. So like, yeah.
That and people talk about like entrepreneur risk and stuff like that, and people get like freaked out and afraid, but that's the kind of risk. It's like this common sense risk. It's either it works or it doesn't. It's not like this like gamble your house. You know what I mean? It's not like stupid risk. It's like it's calculated risk. So the risk there was if I either get grounded for selling her candy, she got she take it the wrong way, or and then what's the consequence? The consequence after being grounded, whatever they choose to do, would be stop selling it, right?
Right.
Or I could keep risking selling it. That. Or on the flip side, the risk would be she says, "Oh, this is a good idea. Let's do this."
Right. High reward.
You understand? So like that's what people, even I don't care what level business you're doing, entrepreneurs and great business owners are good at risk reward. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, but we don't ever really lose because if the risk that we do, because it's gonna be calculated, we gotta know what that threshold should be. And if we keep that within that, even if we lose, we learn something, and then we kind of like read, okay, that's not gonna work. Let's do this. Right. So like it's like that. But me and my grandmother, man, it was crazy, bro. She was a waitress. So like in 2 years, she was able to leave that waitress job and just sell candy, bro. She did that until 2005 when she passed away. Like, wow. Like that's when I understood like how simple business is. And that's why I'm able to start businesses, because it's not nothing crazy to me. It's like, it's all about, you got something people want, find a way to tell them about it, which is marketing, which is why I love, out of everything in the world, I'm really good at marketing. Because to me, it's a 9-year-old connecting kids to candy. Like, so like everything I do, that's all I do. Like my current business, Standout Truck, like I'm just, what, and I was talking to one of my sales guys about this yesterday. What we do is connect customers to products and services they would buy.
That they already buying.
That's it. And if they knew about it, right? So how do we do that? Our digital billboard trucks drive around in neighborhoods and communities and busy areas with people that need to hear that message, and they go buy the things from the people. Like I love writing. I wrote a quick story yesterday about people being thirsty and sweating and wanting water. No, they didn't know where to find water. And then this convenience store owner, he hired a digital billboard truck to say fresh, ice cold water. And then the people in the town knew where to buy the water, and he sold out, right? And it's really that simple. So my clients love me because I'm telling people, or Standout Truck and my team, we're telling people about products and services that my clients have, and these people want those products.
Right.
So like, I'm winning.
Yeah. So you connecting them, with the product that they probably already buying, but now they know exactly where to get it.
That's it. We the plug.
Right.
We the plug. We the plug and the connect.
Right.
Oh, we no. We're the connect to the plug.
We're connected to the plug. Right. That's it, man. So with that, man, with that being in mind, right, you're talking about risk, reward. There's so many entrepreneurs that are just afraid to like start their product or their service, or maybe they get started in it. Like, what do you think are some of the reasons why people are afraid to just launch, man? You got your book, he's a published author, and so people wanting to launch, like, give them some tips on that. Get them up and going.
Yeah. So, bro, I keep the more simple you keep it, the better. I think the first part of your question, why people afraid to launch, bro, you know what it is? We live in a society where people celebrate others' failures more than they celebrate their success. So if you look at I think I have a copy in there. I thought I did. Oh, yeah, I do. So if you look at the back of my book, and this is like, I always tell, because I know people, like, when they look at a book, they look at the front, look at the cover, and then they normally flip to the back and see what the back says, right? So at the top of the back of my book, this is what it says. I hope it shows up. If not, I'll read it. I'm gonna read it anyway. But It says, fear kills more dreams than lack of resources ever will. Right?
Wow.
So anybody that pick my book up and read that and get it, they already won. I promise you could be done with the book if you understand that one line.
Right.
But that's the thing that stops most people, bro. Because now, if you deep down you're fearful, like, any kind of obstacle comes, you're gonna stop, because you got to understand the brain's main role, bro, main purpose is to keep us safe. Your brain's main role is to keep you safe all day, every day, till the day that you pass. Your brain's job is to keep you safe.
Right.
So now, if you're fearful deep down for something, your brain's like, okay, we got to protect them. We got to protect them. So now you go in to launch this business. You got this $1 billion business, but then it's time to launch, and someone says, well, I don't like your logo because it's purple. Then you're gonna be like, then your brain's gonna be like, see, told you shouldn't do this.
Told you shouldn't have done it, right?
And then now all your fears become like this is your reality, so you stop. Right? So that's why most people don't do it, bro. It's
because of the fear. Right.
It's fear. So to me, bro, I'm curious. I need to know, because there's no such thing as failing, bro. Like, I've got this thing where, like, so you got to love yourself, believe in yourself, invest in yourself, right? Like I love, and even saying this, some people get offended by people saying what I'm about to say right now. Bro, I love myself so much that if I believe I could do something, I gotta at least try it.
Right.
Just for my self-love. Like, I need to, I gotta win, lose, or draw. I gotta know. Right? So then after that, so how do I do that? I invest in myself, bro. The time. I invest the time. I invest the resources. I invest in learning about it, getting better at it. Right. So like now, I want to start a Kool-Aid business. You know what? I want to do that. Okay, bro, you got to do that. Just me hype my brain, because my brain is so like wired to like hype myself up. That the fear don't even have a chance, bro.
Right. You're already programmed. Like, fear's not going to enter in.
Can't do it.
If my mind's on it, I'm going after it.
That's it. And that doesn't mean I don't have fear, because everyone has fear. If someone tells you they don't have fear, they're not human. What my brain is not gonna let the fear stop me. I'm gonna use the fear as a healthy fear. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna go buy some Kool-Aid that could make people sick and try to be greedy. No. The fear of harming other people would make sure I'm an ethical business person. So like, right. it's you got to use the fear as healthy. So, and that's what, because really your risk reward comes from answering the questions that fear puts in front of you.
There it is.
See what I'm saying? So if you could answer those logic, and this is where the investing comes in. Okay, boom. I talked to Mr. Kool-Aid, and he said this and this and that. I've been researching Kool-Aid, this and that. I studied these seven businesses that did it, and they got it right. they have these 4 things in common. So I don't know. I know 2 of those 4 things. Let me go figure those other 2 things out. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna just do a lean version of this item that I have. See if people like interested in it. Oh, whoa, people are buying. Okay, good. Let me make sure I got to get even better. I got the 3rd thing down now. Okay, cool. Now I get the 4th thing now. Boom. I'm doing these 4 things. People are buying. Okay, the business is growing. Let me stay humble. Because I know I could be better. I know I could be better. I know I could be better. Right. And then boom, the whole time, going back to being 9, I'm focused on sales, bro.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you don't have $1 billion business without $1 billion worth of sales.
That's it.
So that's another thing people fear. People fear selling because they look at it the wrong. I used to hate, you believe it or not, I had sales figured out at 9, and I hated sales as an adult.
Right.
And it wasn't until I realized, like, wait a minute, bro, you're not a used car salesman. You're not Al Bundy. I date myself a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, bro, all you doing is telling people about things they want or need, bro.
Already. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the fear? Your customers are gonna love you. Bro, if I need a barbecue grill, bro, and you selling barbecue grills, take my money. Give me that barbecue grill. Let's make this exchange happen, bro. That's all the sale is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exchange, bro.
That's it, man. It's crazy because I'm in sales, right? And I thought the same thing. And here's the other part. And I talked about this in another previous podcast. Schools aren't going to teach you how to be a salesperson, right?
No.
They're not going to teach you. So I do say you can do everything. You can do anything if you're willing to invest the time and the effort into it, right? So you have to invest the time and educate yourself and being a salesperson. And I said, it don't matter what you're doing. You could be a doctor. You're still selling yourself. You're selling yourself. And at the end of the day, but when I embrace the fact that, you know what, I'm, like you said, I'm not a used car salesman, right? I believe in my product. I believe in my service, and I know that I can add value to others. And when I did that, man, boom, game over. It was game over. But you brought up something earlier, and I know we talked about it. A lot of people, they want to start the business. Now let's say they launched the business. What do you think are some of the reasons why businesses fail? Because we talked about this and it was marketing. I know it's marketing. So kind of dive into that, man, like why business fails.
So you know what it is market size and need. Sometimes people launch products that no one wants. So like when you do that, you're gonna have no sales, right? Because no one wants it. And then they got their feelings hurt, but they didn't do their research. You know what I mean? You got to do your research. Like you have to understand your market size. And I got to shout out the used car salesmen too. And I'm gonna use them as an example in this because they got a bad rap because, and this is once again, the used car salespeople that get a bad rap is because of unethical sales.
Right.
Because if you sell me, if all I could afford is a $2,000 car, and you sell me a $2,000 car that gives me another 50, 60,000 miles, or even 20,000 miles, whatever. I don't
right. You are the greatest salesman.
Right. If you give me a car that the value is greater than what I paid for it, I love that car. Right. That car helped me get to my job. That helped me make more money to now be able to buy a new car. Right. So then going back to being ethical, like just doing what you're supposed to do for your customer. And that's how you really become wealthy, bro.
Absolutely.
Like, you could do it being a shyster and sell a whole bunch of snake oil and boom, boom, boom. And then just
get rich quick,
right?
But yeah,
but it doesn't, you got to always be on that grind. Right. So let me go back to answer your question about why people fail. So, and it's gonna hurt a little bit of feelings. So
come on, ring it out. Let them know.
So they say 95% of businesses fail in the first 5 years, right?
Right.
And my response to that is because 95% of those people shouldn't be starting businesses. That's why. So like, and that's not a knock, and that's not a dream killing thing. If you got to be prepared for it. There's no luck when it comes to business.
Right.
It's not luck. And I promise you, if you talk to that 5%, I don't even believe nothing I say. And I always tell people, don't believe nothing I say. I want you to go test it yourself.
Right.
So if you talk to the 95% that fail, and you hear the language that they talk, and then you talk to the 5% that succeed, is two completely different conversations. I promise you. I promise you. And I'm not gonna tell you what the 5% gonna talk about. I'm gonna tell you what the
The 95.
I'm not gonna tell you what the 95% gonna talk about. I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm gonna tell you what the 5% gonna talk about. So it'll look like something like this. They'll talk about mindset. They'll talk about the idea. They'll talk about the plan to sell. They'll talk about how they activated that plan, and then they'll talk about how they reevaluate it and then start that loop over. So their plan is normally very efficient. So once again, okay, cool. Let's go to be selling used cars because we got a used car lot. The plan, we know, okay, because they did the research, the average person is buying a used car, they spend between $2,000 and $10,000. They know that. They know their pain points, they know their struggles, they know what they're looking to get out of this used car. Right? They know almost everything about that market. They know how many people a year buy used cars in the area that they're in. So they know their market size. They go, okay, cool. In Springfield, Mass, on average, and I'm just making a random numbers here. It's a population of 150,000 people. On average, 5 to 10,000 people buy used cars. Okay, we're gonna say that. That's what it is. So they know, okay, out of the 5 to 10,000 people, we need to sell, to make this business profitable, we need to sell 200 cars a year. They know that. So then now, once they know that, they go into this plan. Okay, how do we get these 200 people to walk into our door? So then they come up with a marketing plan, right? So they know in order to sell 200 cars, we got to get 2,000 people to walk on our lot. They know, okay, then boom, this breaks down how many, what the conversion rate ends up being. Then they go, okay, so cool. We have 3 salespeople on our used car lot. We need to make sure that when we get these 2,000 people, our conversion rates need to be. So we need to get our guys doing this, in sales. They got a sales strategy. So then, boom. Now you look at that thing starts working like a machine. And they sell their 200, they sell 250 cars.
Right.
And then the next year they sold 300 cars, and they go, or in the next whatever. And then they go, oh shoot, okay, we got a formula here.
Right. It's working.
So in a city and town with 150,000 people, if you do X, Y, and Z, we sell 300 cars. Let's go to the next city. Let's go to another city. Let's go to another city. Replicate. Do it again.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So then now they they doing 4 or 5 million a year selling used cars. But it's nothing sexy about that, bro. And that's boring and hard as hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a good point. And I don't want to cut you out, but we want to talk about that too, because a lot of people see the sexiness, they see the cars, they see the success, but they don't see the work. They don't see the work in the background. I definitely want to get into that too, but my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's how it works. And that's what McDonald's did. That's what Sherwin-Williams did. That's what I'm saying. You go back and look. See, people get caught up in the Entrepreneur magazine version of the story.
Right.
I was telling one of my guys the other day. The Entrepreneur, you got to understand, Entrepreneur magazine, they're in the advertising business, bro.
Yep.
Right? No one's gonna read boring stories.
Yeah.
They got to tell that version of the story, and it's not fake. But they got to tell more of those stories to get more eyeballs in those magazines so they can sell ad space.
Right. That's facts.
Like Shark Tank, that show does really well.
Yeah.
You remember they did a show called Beyond the Tank.
Mm-hmm.
When they were showing the real work. That show didn't take off.
Not at all.
Right.
But that was the real work behind the scenes, though.
Yeah, that's right. See, and then once again, the 95%, they watching Shark Tank.
There you go. You got it.
The 5%, they watching Beyond the Tank. And that's the difference, bro.
Yeah. Wow. Man, that's fire. That's fire. And it's so true, man. And for those entrepreneurs that are out there, it's not going to be sexy. It's going to be work, man. And
Bro.
I commend the used car salespeople. I tell them all the time, like, I envy some of their sales skills because
Oh,
they get
oh.
rejected day in, day out.
But watch this, bro. Watch this. Watch this. The 5%, they are used car salesmen, bro. Because in order to win in this game, bro, besides fear, and one thing is another form of fear. People fear rejection, bro.
Yeah.
Humans want to be accepted. So like that 5%, thick skin, determination. Thick skin, determination. Bro, you know how many no's you got to go through to get a yes? And I tell my people all the time, bro, like, listen, you got to be willing to go through 100 rejections to get
at least
3 yeses.
At least.
You cannot lose enthusiasm from rejection 1 to rejection 100 to get to 3.
Right.
If 1 to 100 is a strikeout and your next 3 are grand slams, bro, you got to go through 100 strikeouts, bro.
Right.
And that right there is what most people aren't willing to do. And that's why most people can't win at entrepreneurship or business.
Man, that's it. That's it, man.
It ain't no, bro. These entrepreneurs, we know geniuses. We know, everyone wants to like, oh, this one's a Elon Musk is a genius. Nah, bro, come on, like maybe, but the genius titles comes after.
Right.
I don't think Henry Ford is walking around saying I'm a genius. You think that like you watch his show like The Man Who Built America or The Fool Who Built America, and then you see how this thing played out like 80, 90, 100 years later, and you go, yo, that dude was on. He was on point. But he had the vision. He's seen it, and this is what the 5% have too. And it's always seem a little crazy because they got this vision that only them could see, and they putting the work in like it's already here.
Right. Working it into manifestation until it comes and becomes a reality, man.
Bro,
you look at
it's work, bro. It's work. It's like another thing I learned as a kid, bro. I used to love playing with Legos. And like I got these things in my head, bro. Like, and I'm about to build this. And you build it, and it takes you days, and then it don't even look right. Then you gotta break that down, build it again. Oh man, I wanted this brick to be over here. Break that down. And then when it's all said and done, everyone's like, yo, that's amazing. But you know how many, if I look at them
how many times,
bro, if I look at the days it took me to build, right? Say it took me 7 days to build it. And I as an adult, I look at 7 days as 70 years to build it. Right? Like, bro, I believe in I can see it. But this is why I tell people the cheat codes, you don't have to wait 70 years. And I wish if I understood this younger, but I'm glad I didn't, because you have to go through things
you have to
really get.
Absolutely.
But like the cheat code to the whole thing is sell one, bro. If you could sell one, you could sell 1 million of them. Like I tell people all the time, in a world of 7-8 billion people, whatever we at now, I know 250,000 of them got $100 in their pocket for me. So like I'm not even talking to everybody, bro. I don't. Right. And this one got the game messed up too, bro. These follow accounts, these the likes, oh yeah, the comment has got people messed up, bro.
Man, let me tell you something, right? I was at this seminar the other week, a couple of weeks ago, and they were like, hey, how many people in here got 10,000 followers? And they all raised their hands. And he said, how many people have $1 million? Put their hands down. So he raised his hand up. He says, I got less than 10,000 followers, and I got more money than all of y'all put together.
I'm trying to tell 5% talk. 5% talk.
That's it.
5% talk right there.
Yeah, man.
But see, that's the thing, bro. Sell one.
Right.
And if I was just starting today, I would always sell one. Before I have my truck, before I have whatever asset, before I invest in it, I'm selling one. Because if I can't sell it without it, I for damn sure can't sell it with it.
Right.
Right. So like when I created this course called 100 Grand Plan, I had this idea. It's an idea for the. Let me teach you how to make their first 100 grand. And this is before everybody and their grandmother was doing that.
Was doing programs, right? Oh yeah, I remember, man. I was like, yeah, you had that what 14, 15, 2014, 2015?
Yeah, exactly. This is right. This is
nobody was talking about. Yeah, no one was
no. No, they wasn't because that wasn't a sexy number. Everyone was trying to teach how to be a millionaire. Bro, how you gonna be a millionaire? You can't meet
you can't get to 100, right?
So before I launched that course, bro, I reached out to a small group of people, maybe 5 people, say, hey, I'm thinking about creating this course. It's gonna do this. This is how we're gonna set it up. You interested in something like that? And 2 of the 5 people said, oh, sign me up right now. So I knew then, make the course. And then I used the revenue from the pre-sales to produce the course.
That's it.
Right. So I never worried about that course selling.
Right.
And
because you already made it in the front end.
Bro, that's why I made the course so affordable, so accessible. And I never, if you notice, I never ever mass marketed 100 grand plan. And I never, ever mass marketed my book launch and stand up. Now, you know me for a long time.
Right.
The only, what kind of big media buy you see behind launch and stand up my book or behind 100 grand plan? Never seen it. I posted on my Facebook once in a while.
That's true. That's true.
Because I always wanted that to be a true intimate mastermind, whereas like because I wanted to be because I didn't want that to be some kind of thing that's like a gimmick. I never wanted it to be that. So like the people that buy the book, the people that follow the 100 grand plan and really get it with that 5% mentality, they almost always hit the goal.
Yeah. And that's the most organic way to do it too. But it blew up. I mean, I see you on the news, man, with the book, you know, you doing these different things and you're on the spotlight, man, but you putting in that work, but you know organic growth.
You know why? Because it's real fact. It's true. It's exactly how it actually works. There's no hype. There's no fluff, bro. If you plant, I'm, you know, like I said, I'm an island boy. If you plant a mango seed in the right soil, bro, you're gonna have a mango tree in a few years, no matter what you do. It's almost it's like when it is what it is, bro, it is what it is.
That's it. And that's simple.
That's it.
Yeah, that's simple. So starting your businesses, man, before we wrap up, man, like what were some of the biggest challenges, like, you know, starting up the businesses, you know, like what was it that you were like, man, you know, like you said, 95% of the businesses don't survive. You've been surviving for many, many years, not only in just one, but like you said, you replicated and created other businesses. They're thriving, they're expanding. What were some of the challenges though, before you had that success?
Bro, I mean, it's always, every business has different challenges. So like if business was just about just business, then it's easy because you could figure out that 5% formula and rock, right? But bro, you're a human. You got life you're dealing with, bro.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So like that stuff sometimes is harder than the business stuff. Like I tell my people all the time, like, yo, if all I had to do was wake up and do some marketing and some sales, but you got real life that you're dealing with, bro. Because like that you may be tough. So here's the thing. I'm a 5% thinker when it comes to business, marketing, entrepreneurship, sales. But every other aspect of my life, I'm gonna be 95%. And that's how humility works. So imagine being top.
That's real.
You know, imagine being top thinker in everything. Bro, you no one can touch you.
Right.
The brain's number one job is keep you safe. So I got other arenas that I'm not 5% in.
Right.
So those affect me in other ways. And then because I gotta navigate those waters. So like, I mean, there's always business challenge, but like I said, for me, the business challenge. So the business challenge is bringing it back into the business world is like creating this 100 grand plan, so to speak, to start knowing what I need to do. But then the pieces sometimes is getting those resources. Like, okay, I need this to do that. And then sometimes it just takes time. So people sometimes always think the money is the biggest thing. it's not necessarily money, because there's people like your neighbor who was working at the for the city for the last 30 years. He's got $400,000 just sitting there. You don't know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And if he knows that because I don't care who you are, what you do. Like if someone's investing money in you, the only thing they care about is getting their money back. So if you have a solid plan and you're a credible person and you're the right person, they know, okay, well, if I a dollar, and I always do with the kids. If I ask you, Lo, let me $1, bro, I'm gonna pay you back on Friday. And Friday comes and I don't pay you back. would you let me another $1?
Never.
This is $1. This
right.
is right. If I say, hey, Lo, let me $1 and pay you back on Friday, and then on Wednesday I pay you $1.50, would you let me $1 again?
Absolutely.
Every single time, right? So like, people think it's money. No, if you do what you say you're gonna do with that money, and you don't have an issue with money. That's not your issue.
Right.
Once again, it's a sales issue. This is a return of getting that money back. So like that's never the issue. So like sometimes time is that time. How long is like, but you got to plan it out right. Now, cheat code. That $1, I didn't bring it back on Friday, but let's say a month later, I come back and give you 1,000. Would you let me $1 again?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So it's all
absolutely.
about the return, because the time that I thought it was going to take to get that money back took a little longer. But when I got it, and then I took care of my investor. But see, that's the key. If you understand how to communicate, and this is one big issue that our people have: time management and effective communication. Because if you do those two things, because even so, if that Friday hit and I go, hey, Lo, I know I promised to give you $1 a day. Here's what happened. This failed.
Right.
But I'm working on it. Don't think I'm screwing you. It's just that it didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out.
Right.
Then the next week, hey, listen. So I think we may have be onto something. I the whole time I'm just effectively communicating. And then that last Friday, I ain't even gonna talk to you. I'm just coming to give you a $1,000, and you was only expecting the $1 back.
Yeah.
But because you invested in me, and you believed in me, and you didn't make me feel bad for not doing what I said I was gonna do, because I'm coming to you as a man, effectively communicating with you. Here's 1,000, man. It's all how you do things.
Yeah.
It's all how you do things. It's this. That's what it works. I mean, I hope I answered.
No, you did, and you brought up that great point about communication and the fact that we lack. I know I had somebody on the podcast, and we were talking about time management, and they were like, well, you really can't manage time, but you can manage yourself. And I think that's something that and I was like, man, that's powerful, right? Because the time is going to go. We're on this podcast. Time is going regardless, but how we manage ourselves within that time, I think, is what we have to learn in order for us to be successful, because we only got 24 hours, right? Warren Buffett wakes up, 24 hours, right? Barack Obama, 24 hours, Oprah Winfrey, 24 hours. We all have 24 hours, but what we do. And here's the other thing. You said this earlier, but if you could be honest with yourself, right? And really look in the mirror and say, yo, am I really putting in the work? Because like a lot of the 95% of those people, they never look and self-assess, bro. They never evaluated what am I doing wrong? Like, because if you look at Walt Disney, if you look at Ray Kroc, if you look at all the, Colonel Sanders, they failed thousands of times, hundreds of times. But I guarantee you that every time they came and approached the situation, it was a different approach. Right. It wasn't the same thing they were doing. No. They were like, I need to switch it up. I need to do something different. And I think that's the thing that I love about being in sales, man, is that, especially when you're successful at it. And, I've had a lot of success at it, but it took time. And it took time, and I had to invest in reading. I had to go to seminars. I had to invest in mentors. I was talking with somebody the other day, man, and we were talking about mentors, and, at some point, free mentors, they can only get you to some level, where you're going to have to eventually invest and pay someone that's
Somehow.
on another level if you want to get to that next level.
And it's funny you said that, because like two of my greatest mentors were guys. One guy that did 500 million selling candles, Myke Get Rich from Yankee Candle, and another guy that did 120 million selling teddy bears, which was John Sertino, the Vermont teddy bear guy. And now I got a new guy, Nad Borowski. He's a real estate guy, chiropractor guy. And I never paid them in money, so to speak, but I paid them in time. And I always found a way, because first of all, these guys wouldn't take my money. They didn't need it. This is another thing too. And I'm gonna go back to what you're saying about investing in yourself. So I'm just talking from the mentor standpoint. When you like a true 5% thinker, bro, the people that come in your way are amazing. And you're only able to identify them if you're thinking like them. Right?
Right.
It's like, here's what you're gonna realize. You're gonna go back one day, or have your assistant go back and look at all these podcasts you did, and you're gonna see the information is all the same that people are saying, and that's the 5% information.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
So I had those guys, but I've always invested time in reading. I always look at myself, bro. I spent one stretch of time. Because I was like, man, I need self-awareness. And this is what I'm talking about when I said, like, you realize like you're not. The only reason I know I'm not 5% in other things is because I did the self-awareness thing. And I go, man, you suck at that. You suck at this.
Right.
You suck at this. It's a dark place, bro. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's like when you like really honestly look at yourself and see where you weak, bro, that'll mess with your mind. But you want that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to invest the time and the resources to improve that. I wasn't always good at sales. So like, and not that I wasn't, I just, like I said, I was looking at sales wrong. And the reason I figured that out, because I invested in myself. I bought courses. I started reading books of really great salespeople. I looked at how one of my favorite books when it comes to sales, bro, was Go for No.
I love that, but I got that, bro.
See, 5%
5% thinking, baby.
I'm trying to tell you,
amazing book, and it's a short read, bro.
See, this is what I'm talking about, bro. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right. So that book, Think and Grow Rich.
Got that right here.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The science of money getting.
Hey, Myke, got them right here.
See,
they right here accessible, because every now and again I just want to read one chapter.
That's it. Just a refresher. So like, but this, bro, you notice this is some just as crazy-ish. Like most people, bro, after they graduate high school, they don't pick up a book.
Bro, I talk about that all the time. Like, don't even read one book.
It's crazy. Crazy. So like, this is what I'm saying. When I say like successful entrepreneurs or successful business, or successful at anything, bro, like, the reason they're not better or smart, they just invest in themselves, bro. Like I always looked at it like this. Like if I'm willing to go to a club and spend $500, $200, and like we were over the course of a month. I ain't even talking going out one night spending $500.
Some people do though. They pop the bottle. It's over.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking them. Right?
You said,
But if I'm willing to do that, but I'm not willing to spend $500 or $1,000 or $10,000, whatever it is, to like improve myself, bro, to go learn that one thought is gonna change my whole way of thinking and give me some 5% information. That's on me. I gotta own that.
That's right. That's right.
What I mean?
I think Bill Gates said it, man. If you're born poor and die poor, it's your fault. Because you had every opportunity in your life. Like I was homeless at 14, bro. Like I should not be where I'm at right now, living in a 7-bedroom house, successful. Like my life, if I was to allow my environment to dictate my future, my family, the choices and whatnot, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. But it took exposure that was the first thing, right? Being exposed to the different life when Bill Cosby came in, and I went to Hampton and saw Black excellence at a high level, and met some of the
Change your
greatest
reality.
people, right? Changed my entire reality. But then I started investing in and reading, started developing, and I was like, bro, like these books, man, every time someone, I would sit around the 5%ers, like you said, right? I'm listening to them. Well, what books do you read? And that was something that I would always ask
You
them
could do
before I
that
left.
easy.
Easy. I'm like, hey, if you could recommend me 2 books, which ones would they be?
That's
And
it.
then as I leave, and I order it on Amazon.
That's
The
it.
other thing that's crazy, man, technology has allowed us to be able to read, to have audiobooks, and then now you got podcasts with information. So the information is out there, right? But it's like you said, man, and it's amazing because like I can put on there my podcast post, and like this episode right now is fire. Like if you ain't listening to this, you're the part of the 95%, period. But period, right? But the 5%, like boom, episode's fire. I posted 20 likes, 21 likes, maybe, right? 3-4 shares. But then if I post something like I'm at a vacation, or I'm at a beach, bro, 100 likes, 200 likes. Oh my God. And then if I post something negative, even more. I can post about, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. It's over. And it's amazing, man, to see that, bro. But, man, you share some nuggets, bro. And I just appreciate you, man. And I value your time, man. But I just want to ask you this one last thing. If you can help this one person out there, entrepreneur, that's like, man, I need to turn this business into reality, this idea that I have into a reality. What's the one? And I know there's many, but what is one thing you can tell them that'll help change their life?
So really, I'm gonna go back to something I said earlier, bro. Sell one. If you could learn how to sell that thing before you even start selling that thing. And the other thing, when I say sell one, convince someone else to join you. Because what's going to happen is, as far as business goes, this I like to call it the 4-point triangle. And that's the CEO, the CFO, the CMO, and the COO, right? So most people are good at maybe one, and this is in corporate America, it's called a C-suite. So, and it breaks down to it breaks down to leadership, marketing, a numbers person, a financial person, numbers person, and then a very organized person that could organize the steps of the business. So you got to sell one of those roles. You may not even be the CEO or the leader. You may be the CMO. You may be the marketing person. But you need to sell someone else to convince them to join your dream, right? And if you can't physically sell one, and you can't convince someone to join your dream, reevaluate what are you doing wrong. It make common sense. Because like I learned this from Jack Welch a long time ago. He was the CEO of GE. And Jack Welch said, to run a successful business, you need 2 things: a notepad and a calculator. Because the notepad, you should be able to communicate and articulate your vision. And if you can't hand that piece of paper to someone else and they get it, keep working until that's clear. And then the calculator, because if the numbers don't make sense there, it won't make sense in reality. So that would be my 2 things: sell one, and then the notepad and the calculator.
Man, that's fire, brother. Man, listen, Myke, appreciate you, bro. Continue to crush it. I know we're going to be collaborating, man, on several things, man, and we got to bring you back. There's definitely got to be a part 2 to this, man, for sure. But definitely appreciate you, man.
When you turn this into a conference, I won't be one of the keynote speakers.
Oh, you already know. Listen, you already know. You already know, man. So
let's get all these 5% thinkers and these 5%ers in one room and show them how to dream and execute.
That's it, man. I appreciate it. Well, look, man, for those of you that listen, I hope you enjoyed this show, man, and hit like, share with your friends. And also, man, on the below in the comment section, you're going to be able to find all of Mike's social media handles. So you can go check out, get the book, man, get a copy of his book, man. Follow him on Instagram and Facebook. He's doing phenomenal things, man. So appreciate all of you. Myke, again, my pleasure to having you on the show. Peace out until next time.
Yes, sir.